Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and it's now time for me to review Duke Cannon soap. Hand soap or body soap, bars of soap, whatever you want to call it. And the soap that I used was Naval Supremacy. And I don't know what I did with that box. And obviously I don't have the soap here to show you because I used it all, which took me a while. And you'll learn why here in a little bit. But kind of the big claim to fame, going back to the size, they call this the big ass bar of soap. This is leaf and leather, and they call it big ass bar of soap because it is 10 ounces of soap, which is massive compared to Irish Spring or Dove or whatever else you may use. For the longest time I used body wash, and you know, I wanted to try Duke Cannon soap, and there's some other soaps I want to try, but I see a lot of Duke Cannon stuff like on Instagram and stuff, so I just wanted to try it. And excuse me. And I went on the website and started reading around, and there's some funny stuff. You can tell that these people are very much patriots. You can tell that they have a sense of humor, and you can tell that they know their market, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But I got 3 items. I got the Naval Supremacy, I got this leaf and leather, and I got this tactical soap and a rope pouch. And I'm going to show you this first and talk about this first. Yeah, it's pretty much soap and rope pouch. It has a cross side and a final side. I've only used the final side. Has a paracord lanyard, Velcro, and I never actually. Hygiene Tactical Soap Pouch Individual, U.S. military grade standard issued, special issue Duke Cannon supply. And you can tell their sense of humor right there. I don't know if you can read that. Not for clowns. So I got a kick out of that. I got a kick out of several things on the website. They took their inspiration for the soap from the soap that was issued to the GIs in Korea. I'm assuming they didn't want the soldiers to go through dozens of bars of soap in a short amount of time, so they made the soap big so it lasts longer. And this is kind of their entrance into the tactical type thing. They call it the tactical bar of soap, you know, paracord, all that stuff. The reason why I like this, and I'm going to elaborate on some of the downsides to this, but the reason why I like this is that it's kind of abrasive. It exfoliates, and I hear this is not good for your skin, especially your face, but I like to kind of scrape dead skin off. I like to, if there's like a lot of dead skin, I like to, you know, be able to wash that off. And I just feel, you know, with hot water and something that's mildly abrasive, that you remove dirt more efficiently than cold water and just a plain bar of soap. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. But I hear, and keep in mind on YouTube there are tutorials and advice for everything, that you actually don't want to treat your face so harshly. On the face you want something that's gentle and that won't strip your face. And I don't know if I'm ready to accept that, but my personal opinion, hot water, soap, and something that's mildly abrasive is kind of, I feel clean after that. I guess that's the point I'm getting at. But yeah, if you want to listen to the fashion guys or whatever, I subscribe to some fashion channels, and they discuss hygiene and different aspects of grooming and fashion, and they say that you don't want to be that aggressive to your face skin, because different parts of your body have different kinds of, or different skin densities, skin makeup. You know, some skin's just more sensitive than other. But this is what I used for the majority of my Naval Supremacy soap. until it got really, really small, and I took it out and just finished it off. I will say this about this tactical soap on the rope. This is the point that I really wanted to get to, is that it inhibits the lathering process. It will lather in here, but it's not going to lather as much as if you're using just the bar of soap. So there's a couple ways you can look at that. You can say, well, you're not lathering as much, so the soap might last longer. On the other hand, it's like, well, you know, it's going to be more difficult and take longer to get clean because you're not using as much lather. And for those of you who don't know how normal soap works, is that the lather lubricates dirt and it causes it to wash off. I know that's not the scientific term, and I forget the scientific terminology. I used to know this, but basically it's a lubricant that causes dirt when mixed with the soap to run off. And so you can interpret it that how you want. You can interpret it as it makes the soap last longer. You can also interpret it that it inhibits the cleaning process. But it does, kind of as a scouring pad. I hate to call it that, but as an abrasive, I like this orange side, and to me it makes me feel clean. And that's all I'm going to really talk about on this. Yes, the big ass bar of soap, pardon my language. I normally don't use that kind of language on my channel, but to me, ass isn't that bad of a word. In the big scheme of things, that to me means donkey. That's the proper term for a donkey, and depending on what part of the world you live in, arse is the bad word, not ass. And the fourth continuum of language, this one is not that severe in my eyes, but I do realize that some people might be more sensitive. Says right here, a portion of it, the proceeds go to benefit veterans. Like I said, this is a very military-friendly company. Read back here, inspired by soap used GIs in the Korean War. Made in a factory that supplied the Korean GIs, tested and used by active duty military. They claim if it doesn't pass the cut with the active military, then they don't make it. Like, they have a group of active military people who test this stuff, and if they like it, they're like, all right, we'll put it into production. If they don't like it, then they don't produce it. I want to turn over here, and trust me, I want to get into the actual bar of soap and show you what it looks like. But it says that it's triple milled for quality, kind of looks like a Dragon Ball, 3 times bigger than common bar soap, made in the USA, not from France. And I want to state this real quick. I'm not a fan of downing France. They have a rich military history of badassery, and they also helped us in the Revolutionary War. So I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, they could have got the message across and say not made in China or Taiwan or anything. But France, I'm not talking about the government right now or anything, but historically speaking, France was a badass country, and they were one of the few countries that puts felons and bad men into military use and is able to control them. That's how that's the French Foreign Legion. They take bad people, put them in the military, and then they get a French citizenship after they finish serving. And to me, that's pretty cool. I don't know of any other country that's done that effectively. And again, it says not made for clowns. And before I open this, I know that everybody wants to see it. I want to read something and show you something that's on the website. And this is pretty much the reason why I bought the soap, because this made me laugh. The question is on the frequently asked questions, will your product get me laid or make me more manly? And you can read along with me. Duke Cannon Premium Grooming Goods will not get you laid, and they won't make you more manly. They only promise to get you clean, smelling, and feeling good. Your masculinity is not defined by the brand you use, but by the actions that you take. Duke Cannon brand is for decent, hardworking men that doesn't help create them. So I thought that was both funny and true. We see a lot of soap or Axe body sprays or whatever. It's like, oh, you use this Axe stuff, women will be all over you. That is not the case. And it's just cool to have a company that says, we are a soap and we're here to get you clean. And that, to me, that's real refreshing, and they did it in a very funny manner. Now I'm going to open this, tell you what it smells like. By the way, it's called Leaf and Leather. It's supposed to smell like tobacco and leather, which I love the smell of a leather. I love going into a leather shop, a Red Wing shoe store, or maybe a cowboy boot store. And there's a store in the Galleria that specializes in leather goods. And I love walking in there. Everything's too expensive for me. They cater to Hispanic people. Like all the models are Hispanic, and the language that's being used in there is Spanish. But I still love going in there, and every now and then I'll pick up on what they're saying because I'm studying Spanish. So I go there for more than one purpose. One, to look at leather and smell leather, and two, to see how well my Spanish is getting. This is the bar of soap. This is massive, and you can see that has a logo in it. It's thick. It's 10 ounces of soap, and they say it's triple milled, and it's supposed to get you clean. Now they claim that this smells like leather and tobacco. I love the smell of cigars and pipes. I hate cigarette smell. So I'll give you my opinion on this here in a little bit. I will say the other soap that I actually use was called Naval Supremacy. And on their little website it says, you know, they had a little bit about how we don't name our stuff like Ocean Force or Tropical Paradise or whatever. They say this is just a simple soap that's, you know, to get you clean, and it smells like the ocean. Well, when I smelled it, it was very, very faint, and to me, it reminded me of fresh linens. It was a very clean smell, but it didn't scream nautical. It didn't scream coast. It's not something that you pick up and be like, that smells like the Caribbean, or that smells like Hawaii, and you know, it could very well be the smell of linen, which is commonly worn at the coast. You know, linen tops and bottoms is kind of part of the beachwear type thing for rich folks. But it smelled like fresh linen, and and it was very hard to pick up on. I had to like really put it up in my nose and, you know, rub it, and you smell it. And this is a lot stronger than that. You know, just doing that. Smelling my hand, I can definitely tell that there was kind of a sweet smell to it. It definitely has the leather smell, and it smells like raw tobacco, in my opinion. I'm not a tobacco expert. I've been to some nice cigar stores, and I have smelled some really nice cigars. It's funny. I went to Churchill's in Hot Springs, Arkansas, with a friend, and it's the only place I know of that sells Cuban stock cigars. They call them the American Cuban, and I'm kind of going off on a rabbit trail, but I'll talk about that later. But they were shoving these cigars under my nose for me to smell because they won't let you touch the product yourself. Only the Humidor Associate can. And my friend was buying cigars, but I was just in there, and she kept showing me cigars and putting them under my nose. I'm like, hey, that smells really cool, but I don't smoke. And she was like, oh. I said, but I do like to smell the cigars. So they continue to put cigars under my nose, I guess in the hopes that I'd buy it. And I've actually walked into a cigar store in San Antonio for the sole purpose of smelling cigars and not buying. But I will say this, if I ever get to Cuba, I will smoke a Cuban cigar. But or if I'm, I guess, somewhere else that sells Cuban cigars and it's like on a vacation on the beach, I'd smoke a Cuban. But I'm not going to just smoke a Cuban that someone smuggled into the country. No, not for any particular reason, like not for any kind of moral reason. But if I'm on vacation and I'm relaxing and I have a chance to smoke a Cuban, I would probably try it. But yeah, this has kind of a sweet smell to it, and leather, and I'd say raw tobacco. Nothing that really screams, you know, infused tobacco, or nothing that's like. I've smelled a lot of cigars, but I haven't smoked a lot of them, and I don't know a whole lot about cigars where I could say, well, this smells like a Maduro, or this smells like a Virginia. I can't tell those real fine details, but it's definitely, I can smell it and say, yes, this smells like my grandma's raw tobacco that she used to. It was a pipe tobacco, but it was a very cheap pipe tobacco. And she taught me how to roll cigarettes at a young age, so that was our bonding time. I would roll cigarettes, and she would smoke them. Yes, I had a weird grandma. But anyways, I'm going to start using this. I know it's weird for me to review something without using it, but I used the Naval Supremacy, was relatively happy with it. This smells good. I would much prefer it to have a stronger leather smell than tobacco smell, but it's not a bad smell. And this is like from their Frontier series. They got a kind of a military series. They have a beer soap that's supposed to smell like beer, I guess. They have a soap that smells like campfire and pine woods, and this. So they have an army smell, a navy smell, and some other smell, and then they have beer, and they have their Frontier series. I guess the only thing I really have to talk about now is the ingredients to this. Obviously, they're not going to put any trade secrets in the ingredient list, but it is important to know what this stuff is made out of, because you might have sensitive skin, and they address this on their website. They say their soap is not specially formulated for people with sensitive skin. There is the ingredients. I don't know if tallowit is a type of lard or something, but sodium tallowit, sodium concote, or sodium palm. I can't even say these words. Glycerin, fragrance, sodium chloride, iron oxide, and potassium pentanate. I'm dyslexic, so it's hard for me to read. But what I can tell you is this doesn't appear to be an all-natural soap, which I do want to try some all-natural soap to see if I notice anything different. But if you have a sensitivity to industrial soap, i.e. soap that uses chemicals as opposed to essential oils or anything, this might not be for you. I don't know if I said that correctly, but I haven't had any skin issues using this soap. You know, I have relatively sensitive skin when it comes to deodorant and other stuff. So usually when I find a deodorant that kind of works and doesn't irritate me, I tend to stick with it. This did not irritate me. So take that for what it's worth. I am happy with it. I never actually saw that part right there. They're just saying that they donate to veteran causes, and they talk about that on their website, the different veteran causes that they donate to. But yeah, if you're into bars of soap over body wash, this is a good buy. I want to talk about something. Oh, one more thing. They make a soap for hunters. They make a soap that's supposed to be unscented and supposed to rid you of outside odors or foreign odors, and it's made for big game hunting. Good to know information if you don't want to use some kind of flowery or super dating soap that's supposed to get you laid. If you want to like be unnoticeable, like in the woods, they have a soap for you. But I wanted to say, why would you want a bar soap over body wash? And the only way I can really answer this is, in my opinion, I'd rather have a bar of soap if I was to go camping than body wash. Now, you can buy a travel size body wash, but that's not going to last any significant amount of time if you're spending a week out in the woods. To me, this is very storage friendly. Even though this is a big block of soap and it's 10 ounces, which is pretty heavy, this is going to give you a lot of washes, and it's going to last the whole entire trip, and it's going to be more space friendly than a big bottle of body wash, and it's going to give you more washes than a small travel size thing of body wash. So that's kind of what I think the best use of this is, unless you just prefer using bars of soap over body wash. I can use either or. There was a body wash that I really like from Bath and Body Works that I prefer to use if I'm like, you know, washing for a special occasion. You know, but I'm going to get to continue to use this, and if something drastic happens as far as you know, a bad skin reaction, I'll make an update video. But as of right now, I'm very happy with this, and it costs around $10 for a single bar of soap, which is kind of expensive, but it's also a big ass bar of soap. So look on Amazon. It's probably the best place to buy it. But that's it. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.